Three, two.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to July and the Center for Spiritual Living, Leesburg. Our theme for this year is Living Everyday Wonder. And for July, we will be exploring the topic of relationships. The title of our talk today is Me, Myself, and I. We are so glad that you joined us today. Please feel free to add to the chat or the comment section any prayer requests or celebrations that you would like us to include later in our service when we provide our community spiritual mind treatment, which is a form of affirmative prayer. We invite you to get comfortable, relax in this moment as we begin our service. Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be a service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly, and so it is.
And so it is. Good morning and welcome. And thank you, Tamara, for everything, for opening this sacred space. So I will replace myself as spotlight. There we go. So welcome to July. I would like to start this service with some meditation. We're just going to go in and remind ourselves who we are, just getting back into that body that we talked about all last month. And then I'll play you one of our wonderful songs from Leah. And remember, if you have any requests for prayer, please put them in the chat and I will address those when we do our spiritual mind treatment, as Tamara already said. So just take a moment. Let's ground ourselves and just really come to this moment where we are right here, right now. Taking a nice deep grounding breath. Exhaling. Closing our eyes if you're comfortable. Relaxing the body. Releasing all tension in our shoulders, in our neck. Resting wherever our body meets the surface on which we rest rest our bodies, just knowing we are supported. It's good to sit in quiet contemplation with the members of our community. Knowing that we are all connected to one another. Letting these singing bowls call forth remembrances of our truth. We are divine in nature. We are holy. We have at the very core of our beingness the divine spark that created us out of itself. It's as if the divine said, I don't have a insert your name. I want to experience myself as them. I don't have a Charlene. I want to experience myself as Char. Just as there are no two snowflakes alike, each snowflake an emanation of the divine, expressing itself in a myriad ways, just as infinite as the number of stars in the galaxy, just as infinite as the number of grains of sands on the beach, just expressing itself over and over again, different every time, unique, wonderful. Divine creation created everything, and it still creates as us. It's magnificent. I am. These two words, the most powerful words, I am. Really breathe in these words, I am. Energy that animates my being is the energy that animates the entire world of existence. That which is seen and that which is unseen. That same energy that flung the stars across the sky is creating me even now. It is beating my heart, is pumping the blood through my veins. It is infinite wisdom, infinite possibilities. It is love, for it can be no other way. If the universe were divided against itself, it would not stand. Everything works together for my higher and best self, unfolding, always becoming more, never less, evolving, always expanding. That is the nature of the universe and of my life. And so right here and right now, I simply rest in the knowing that I am. And you are. And we, the CSL community, are a place for good to unfold on purpose, intentionally. And I'm so grateful for that. And as we bring our attention back into the room, with gratitude for all that we've become aware of in these last minutes, I just simply say thank you, life. Thank you, Father, Mother, God. Thank you, universe. I release this knowing that it is already perfect. And so it is. Ashe. Let's listen to Leah.
Good morning, CSL Leesburg. And as always, I would love if you would sing with me. This is a song by India Ari that I'm sure you've heard before. But if you haven't, it becomes familiar. The refrain becomes familiar very quickly. And it feels very good to sing. I am light, I am light. 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 I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light, I am light, I am light, I am light. I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I've left behind. I am light. Sing with me. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age, I'm not my race. My soul inside is all light. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
Woo! So good, so good. I love it. Now, I have to say, I don't listen to these before I listen to them. When I listen to these recorded videos, the first time I hear them is when you hear them. I just know that I'm supposed to play song 1 and I'm dragging and dropping song 2 into the PowerPoint. And then the meditation just came and that's what I did. And then I'm like, oh, it's the I am. I mean, it always happens. And why am I always surprised when I know that miracles are the norm? But every time they happen, these little miracles, I just feel so blessed. She's saying, I am. And she started with, I am not simply the color of my skin or simply these other things that have defined me in the past. I am the light. I am divine. Because here's the thing about labels that define us. When we allow our labels to define us, depending on where you are, you're either put on a pedestal or you're treated less than dirt. And when you buy into the labels, then those labels can control you. Example, I know several people who date these so-called supermodels. I say so-called because, I mean, does anybody really look like that? Whatever. It's all airbrushing. But anyway, my friend Joey, Florida, he says he's very, handsome guy, has a lot of money, drives a fancy car. So of course, every now and then he dates these supermodel Russian types, females. And he said, Shar, these girls are more insecure than the ones that are plain. And I said, well, duh. Of course they're insecure because the feedback that they've gotten over the years is you look great, we'll pay you a lot of money. You look great, you'll get a lot of money. Keep looking great and you're going to get money. They're terrified of the day that they don't look great. And I think that's why they're always in his mind. As he said, they would get in his car looking fabulous, flip down the visor and spend the whole time on their face asking, do they look okay? And he's like, oh my goodness, what the heck? And nothing he can really tell them is ever going to be enough. Because when we look for our validation outside of ourselves, we're going to question its validity because it doesn't match what we really feel inside of ourselves. So this is the topic for today. It's self-love. I know the title is Me, Myself, and I. Yep, the three of us are going on vacation. I used to say that when I first got divorced and I would do everything alone. And people would say, are you going by myself? Are you going by yourself? I'd say, no. There's three of us. And then if they drilled down, I'd say, well, there's me, and then there's going to be myself, and then I'll be there. So because we've come to believe that being alone is bad and that self-love is not as valuable as the love that you get from others. But we know the truth. The truth is that unless I find the love inside myself, then I can't believe the love that you say you have for me. It's almost as if there's a noise canceling headphone thing. I've got these new noise canceling headphones. They're awesome. I put them on, I click the button, and all of that white noise, the sound of an airplane engine or perhaps a crying baby, those sounds are electronically decreased. I guess my son explained this to me. He says, the reason you need to charge these earphones, even if you're not playing any music, is because for the sound waves coming in from the outside, there's an equal and opposite sound wave that's going to neutralize it. And that's why all you're going to hear is your music. Or if you don't have any music on, you're just going to hear a strange vacuum. And I thought, So, and this is where my son he just switches the off button on his mother. I said, oh my gosh. So that's like when if I don't have enough love for myself, people can tell me they love me, but then I create some equal and opposite like voice from my head that negates it. And then I don't hear the love. And then I look and he's already gone. Oh well. But that's how I hear it. If someone tells me that they love me and I don't have anything in me that believes that I'm worthy of love, then I'll take what they say and I'll be like, what do they want? They love me. Sure, they love me. They probably don't. They don't really know me. And so when we don't take time to find out who we are, love ourselves for who we are, then we're at risk for not believing anybody else that they could love us too. And that's really, 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 really lonely. Let me tell you. You can be so lonely in the midst of a crowd, in the midst of so-called best friends, in bed with your spouse, the most alone you've ever felt. Why? Because if you're not showing them who you really are, they don't really know you. And so who they love is not really you. They love your representation. They love your persona. They love something you created, but you know it's not you. So that's where the work is. How do we love ourselves? So the first thing you got to do is, have you seen The Runaway Bride with Julia Roberts? It's, oh my gosh, if you haven't seen this, you got to spin that up and watch it on whatever streaming service you might have membership in. This young lady was engaged numerous times, made it almost down the aisle, but would run. She'd put on the dress and everything, and she'd start down the aisle to go meet that person at the altar and say, I do. But last minute, she'd just take off and run. Take off and run. Every time she'd run away. And so she had done it enough times that she realized, okay, I have a problem. She went to a therapist, and the therapist said, your problem is you don't know who you are. You don't know who you are. And the example was that she didn't know how she liked her eggs. And I'll never forget this. I saw the movie one time and it stuck in my brain. She didn't know what kind of eggs she liked. When she was with the first guy, she liked them scrambled because he liked them scrambled. The second guy, she liked them over easy because he liked them over easy. And the third guy was like poached or something gross. I'm sorry, I don't like eggs. But anyway, so she had all these different types of eggs that she knew how to cook. And she ate them with her man, whoever it was. But she had no idea how she felt about eggs. So for once in her life, she's not with a man. She's by herself, and someone comes over to her house and they catch her in the middle of 4 different egg dishes. She has created 4 wonderfully cooked types of eggs, and she's sitting down, and somebody who came to visit her, I don't remember who it was, they go, what are you doing? She says, well, I don't know what I like. I've never stopped to ask myself, what do I like? It was always, I was going along to get along. I liked whatever he liked. And I'm going to sit down and I'm going to really taste each and every one of these dishes. And then I'm going to know what I like. And I thought, yes, that's exactly right. Because at the same time, I was doing the same thing. I was going through a time in my life where I had to figure out, well, society wants this from me. I don't know if I want that for myself. But then what are my options? I don't even know what I like. I was going to the movies by myself. I started to do that. I would take my motorcycle and just ride into the mountains by myself, just trying to figure out what it is I like to do. Who am I when I'm not trying to be on stage for other people? Who is Charlene? And so that really resonated with me. That movie is just really nice, and it's big. It's a big topic of this talk right here, because self-identification. Who are we? Spirit has imbued itself as us. It already has given us all that we are, but sometimes we don't really treasure that. We don't take the time to find out who that is. And we spend time imitating other people, which Emerson says that imitating others is a big form of suicide, like the biggest form, because you've killed off who you really are and you're putting on some personas that are not you. So imitation is the worst form of that. And Ernest Holmes here, okay. Which one do I want to read to you? So Ernest Holmes, or it's Can We Talk to God? He wrote this in 1934, a while back. He says, I believe in a direct communication between spirit and the individual, the universal spirit personifying itself through each and all. This is a beautiful, logical, and unavoidable conclusion. That spirit is personifying itself through us. And so for us to then discount that because it doesn't look like everybody else, well, maybe it's not supposed to. Maybe we are here to do something specifically awesome. And by pretending it's not there, well, that's where all that pain comes from. That's where the pain comes from when we do not live up to our internal best. When we're pushing that down in order to just fit in, it gets painful and things begin to happen. And we have to be aware, we have to be able to be alone long enough to love ourselves. And it's tricky. It's hard, especially if you were a child who was trained to think that you are only valuable if someone else loves you. Nobody would say that out loud. Nobody at Thanksgiving dinner says, hey, Susie, so you're not valuable yet. Do you have a husband yet? You're not valuable until you have one. No, it doesn't come out like that, but they'll say, so are you dating anyone? Is there anyone on the horizon? You know, you're not getting any younger if you don't have it. Like it comes in, and then we start to think, well, am I not good enough as I am? Do I have to come in here validated by the presence of another person for you to value me? It becomes that, doesn't it? And we'll hang on. I used to have a best friend and she stopped calling me like a whole decade ago. Just stopped calling. And I think I know why. Well, so I'll tell you the story. And it wasn't this exact thing, but y'all know me. I don't stay quiet and I probably should. So she was in the wrong relationship for a while, a long time. And I encouraged her, supported her, and she really wanted to leave this kind of a controlling and a dominant, somebody dominating you kind of relationship. She grew up and no longer found that to be the place she needed to be. So I supported her and I helped her, you know how you do, you're a good friend. And so she and he broke up and then she moved and then she did say something like, oh no, what if I'll never meet anybody again who'll love me? And I thought, you are amazing just the way you are beautiful. How could you have all the things people say they want. Of course you're going to get a new person. And I said, but you should be by yourself. In fact, I played with her phone. It was the year that Beyonce's song came out. I said, okay, your new ringtone is, and I put this little bit on it, me, myself, and I, that's all I got in the end. That's what I found out. I put that as her ringtone. She was highly offended. She thought I was saying that she'll be alone forever. It was one of the final nails in the coffin that she was building. I didn't know that. I thought it was an empowering song, right? I would sing that as if it were the anthem, you know? But no, for her, I was telling her the worst thing she ever wanted to hear, that she was not good enough to have somebody, and all she's gonna have is herself. And so you could see why we didn't end up friends. I mean, obviously, but, and I hope she's well. I mean, I haven't heard from her again, like 10 years or more. But the idea is that I'll never forget that song for me, our Queen Beyonce, she reminded me that I don't need anyone. I mean, I need people. Absolutely, I need people. But I don't need that one person. I don't need any one person. And if I've created a life for myself that causes me to need that one person, then I'm in trouble. Because my good does not come from a single vessel, a single thing. It doesn't come from a single job, a single person, a single anything. My good comes from the universe itself. And there are new ways every day that Spirit reminds me and surprises me how connected I am, how loved I am, how supported I am. And for no reason other than just that I exist. Good enough. I'm here. I am. I don't have to be, well, I am beautiful, therefore I'm loved. I am helpful, therefore I'm loved. I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is be here, now, and I'm worthy. But I didn't start out knowing that. I too had to get by myself, had to figure out what it is that I like, had to decide, are some people in my life for good reasons or for not so good reasons? And is my dependency on that situation, is that a problem? These are things I had to work through. And I'm hoping that in this conversation that you and I, for this whole month, it's all about relationships. The number one relationship we have is with ourselves. And if we cannot be with ourselves more than a minute without feeling lonely, then that's where we start. We start working on, I might be alone, but I am not lonely, right? Because there's 3 of us here. At the very least, you could say, yeah, we're going over to, and I used to be ashamed to tell people I was traveling on vacation by myself. What got me over that was business trips. Business trips. When you're on a business trip, you have to eat. So you go out to dinner and there you are by yourself. Now, there's no guilt about being by yourself when you're on a business trip. So I just decided I'm always on a business trip. I remember I think it was a year before COVID hit. I was here, Blake was off in school and I was by myself and I thought, I really want a Cosmo. I want to go down to Bar Louie and have a Cosmo. But I don't want to be seen as that cougar. I mean, look, I have on this. I could be seen as a cougar, but no, I don't want to be seen as the cougar at the bar. Like, I don't, but yet I want a Cosmo and I want some wings. And if I were on a business trip, there would be no doubt that I'd be down at the bar having a Cosmo and wings. So I decided, I drove my car over to the Bar Louie and I sat down at the bar and had a Cosmo and some wings. And then all of my courage went away when the couple next to me, oh, hi, how are you? I'm like, fine, I'm on a business trip. I lied. I mean, I only owned it long enough for me to get out of the house. And then when I saw other people, I didn't want to say, yeah, I live nearby and I'm that lonely lady who drinks Cosmos at the bar by herself. Guys, it's a journey. That's all I'm saying. But that's when it broke. I just said, listen, I can be by myself at restaurants. I can be by myself on airplanes, at movies, because when I travel, I do it. So why not do it when I'm at home? And then trying to figure out what I do like, what I don't like, and then just having fun with it. And these days you get enough devices, you don't have to look lonely. You're just, doing what everybody else does. People do this at the dinner table with their whole family, everybody on their devices. I have no idea what they're doing. So it's not strange so much anymore. Bottom line, get to know yourself if you haven't already started. It's a beautiful, beautiful landscape, that world within that just is bursting with exciting things that you can find out about yourself. And I want to spend the last 4 or 5 minutes on something. This is a list of things that Charlie Chaplin wrote. And I hope it doesn't take too much time, but if it affects you the way it did me, then time well spent. Charlie Chaplin says, as I began to love myself, I found that anguish and emotional suffering are only warning signs that I was living against my own truth. Today, I know this is authenticity. What? Anguish and emotional suffering? Well, that's a little signal. Hey, you're not being authentic. Love it. Okay, here's another one. As I began to love myself, I understood how much it can offend somebody if I try to force my desires on this person, even though I knew at the time was not right for them and the person was not ready for it. And even though this person was me. Today, I call it respect. As I began to love myself, I stopped craving for a different life, and I could see that everything that surrounded me was inviting me to grow. I call it maturity. As I began to love myself, I understood that at any circumstance, I am in the right place at the right time, and everything happens at exactly the right moment so I could be calm. And I call this self-confidence. As I began to love myself, I quit stealing my own time and I stopped designing huge projects for the future. Today, I only do what brings me joy and happiness, things I love to do and that makes my heart cheer. And I do them in my own way and in my own rhythm, and I call it simplicity. As I began to love myself, I freed myself of anything that's not good for my health. Food, people, things, situations, and everything that drew me down and away from myself. At first, I called this attitude a healthy egoism. Today, I call it love of oneself. As I began to love myself, I quit trying to always be right. And ever since I was wrong, less of the time, and I discovered that that is modesty. As I began to love myself, I refused to go on living in the past and worrying about the future. Now, I only live for the moment where everything is happening. Today, I live each day, day by day, and I call it fulfillment. As I began to love myself, I recognized that my mind can disturb me and it can make me sick. But I connected it to my heart. My mind became a valuable ally. Today, I call this connection wisdom of the heart. Finally, we no longer need to fear arguments, confrontations, or any kind of problems with ourselves or others. Even stars collide, and out of their crashing, new worlds are born. Today I know that is life. Charlie Chaplin. Let's go within. I am knowing that right here and right now, each and every one of us is perfectly aligned with the only life there is. That life is the divine life. That life is everywhere present. And it's right here in each and every one of us. There can be no separation. And in this alignment with life, I speak my word that any ideas that we might have, any self-talk that's negative, anytime we try to cancel the positive things that are coming to us, that we simply lean in and know that this is an indication that we can grow our self-love. We can grow in self-awareness. We have the ability because we are connected to the one. There is no separation. And so anytime we put our attention on what it is we would like to have more of, and that attention causes it to grow. This is the law. It can be no other way. Wherever our attention goes, that's what grows. And so I speak my word that we put our attention on love of oneself, love of one another, and love in all of its many varied faces. And that it is right here where we are. We don't have to go anywhere. And we deserve it. We are worthy because we are here. That's it. We didn't have to do anything. We just have to be here now. And so with this knowing, with this understanding, I'm fully in gratitude. And I speak my word that any place where there is any sense of dis-ease or any appearance of sickness, I speak my word that it is dissolving right here and right now. And those that are feeling out of alignment with their highest healthy self, that they're coming back into alignment with it right now. I simply say, thank you, God. Thank you, life. Thank you, universal spirit. Thank you, Father, Mother, God. I release my word into the law, knowing it can be no other way. And so it is. Ashe, amen. Let's hear Leah's second song.
Good morning, CSL Leesburg.
Hold on.
And as
That's not the second song. Let me share.
I think you all were actually there when I wrote this song, which is to say 24 hours after the download was received, I was able to share it with you because I was with you on a Sunday. There was an Instagram guru who shared this mantra, and it instantly resonated with the melody. So when it becomes familiar, please sing it with me. I open myself to love, and I know that I deserve it. I open myself to love. I open myself to love, and I know that I deserve it. I open myself to love. I open my heart to love, and I know that I deserve it. I open my heart to love. I open my heart to love, and I know that I deserve it. I open my heart, I open my heart to love. I open my life, I open my life to love, and I know that I deserve it. I open my life to love. I open my life to love, and I know that I deserve it. I open my life to love. One more time, I open myself. I open myself to love, and I know that I deserve it. I open myself to love. I open myself to love, and I know that I deserve it. I open myself to love. I open myself to love.
Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Thank you so much, Charlene. And thank you, Leah. And I agree. Just everything comes together. What a perfect message. What perfect music to go along with the message. Now is the time that we bless our donations that are shared with us today. At CSL Leesburg, we believe in the law of circulation. So we are a tithing community. The donations that are shared with our center bless everyone, those who give and those who receive. Your donation helps our center, our home organization, as well as local and other organizations that support our vision to help create a world that works for everyone. Please look at our screen. There's so many ways that you can give. It's easy to find a way that works for you. No matter how you are giving, we thank you so much, and we invite you to join us in our blessing of our gifts. The presence of Spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the life of everyone I contact. Therefore, I am a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live. Oh my gosh, take one more look at that before it disappears, because there it is. There's our message for today in a nutshell. What a beautiful blessing. All right, now it's time for announcements. So many exciting things going on here at CSL Leesburg. So Tuesdays at 9 o'clock, you can join Charlene and her friends as they explore dreams. While we're sleeping, our dreams are going, our brain is sorting out things, and sometimes we're getting messages and it's hard to figure out, what does this dream mean? So join Charlene and her friends on Tuesday morning, and you can share your dreams, you can listen to their dreams, and you can listen to how they help each other interpret their dreams. Then Wednesdays in July, look at what we have coming up for you. So this Wednesday, focusing on the relationship with ourselves, we're going to do some self-care exploration. So if you like what you heard here today, this morning, join us on Wednesday evening at 7 p.m., the same little Zoom log on site, and we will continue to focus on self-care and just learning how to have a wonderful relationship with ourselves. It all begins there. Week 2, we'll explore forgiveness. Week 3, society and how do we show up. Ooh, that's going to be interesting. And then week 4, exploring nature. And if you don't know what forest bathing is, join us. You'll find out all about that. And then we have 5 Wednesdays in July. So global relationships will be explored in week 5. Join us on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time if you are able. We also have some very exciting classes coming up. So I will be teaching spiritual practices and principles, and there's all the great details that you need to know. It's only 5 Mondays. It's starting not this Monday, because guys, that's July 4th. Odds are you're going to be celebrating July 4th. So we'll start it up on July 11th, the following Monday. It will be at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Class is only 2 hours. It'll be live on a Zoom. This is a foundations class, so there's no prerequisite. If you're new to CSL and our principles and practices, come and learn a little bit more about that. And you can register on our website. And our fabulous Charlene Banks will also be teaching a class called Revealing Wholeness. This will start, Charlene, is that the right date?
We started yesterday. Yes.
Oh, you did, sir. Good,
Yes.
good, good. All right, so it's started, but they can still join, right, Charlene?
They have 1 week to join. Yes.
That's it. So listen, you want this, you don't want to miss this Revealing Wholeness. It's at noon
Yes.
on
Saturdays.
Saturdays. It's 7 Saturdays. And again, you can go to our website to register. And guys, every time I hear this lady speak, I learn things. So you might want to join her on Saturdays and learn more about the principles of Science's Mind, as well as current research in medicine and quantum physics. So, reveal your wholeness. I think there's going to be a lot of that message that we got today too. Learning how to improve that relationship with yourself. All right, folks, unfortunately, it seems like time flies on Sunday mornings with our time together, but it's now time for us to close with our closing affirmation. I do want to invite you to hang around, though, if you're able to. If you don't have anything that you immediately have to run off and address, stay around with us. We do something called Pearls. We share those little nuggets, those little moments from our service, from our message, and from our music today that really resonate with you. And guys, I took a whole bunch of notes today, so I can't wait to share. Join us if you can. If you can't, please know that we're so thankful that you joined us here today, and we send you off with blessings. But first, let's all join together. You know I want to hear you in this closing affirmation. So first, put your hands over your chest, give yourself a big old hug, and join me in saying, I am love.
I am love.
There you go. That's what I love to hear. Now look at someone who's in the room with you. It could be an actual person. It could be a little furry pet or friend. It could be just looking at the screen and say, you are loved.
Our love.
You are loved.
Yes, you are loved. Now put your hands up in the air and remember, guys, it's all love.
All love.
It's
All love.
It is
All
all
love.
good. Oh, just thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day. And if you can stay, hang around with us. We'd love to chat with you. That's it. It's a wrap.
Okay, Dan.